So we'll see roaming user profiles. As we have discussed, we have two types of profiles: local user profile and roaming user profile. And the limitation of local user profile is all the data is saved on the local computer, and users can't access the same profile on other computers. And our requirement is to make the users access the same profile on other computers as well. Then we will use this roaming user profile. So roaming user profiles are stored on a server and can be accessed from any computer. So it will be stored on the server and it can be accessed from any computer. Let us say you have created some data here, and this data can be accessed. Let us say user one wants to access this data. He can access on client one, client 2, client 3, and client 4. Okay, he will access the complete profile on all the computers, and it is configured by an administrator on the server. So who is configuring this roaming user profile? Administrator on the server. In a roaming profile, when a user logs on to any computer in a domain, his profile will be copied from server to the desktop. Okay, so any user, okay, let us say we have created the roaming profile for user one. Okay, and it will be created on server by administrator. This user one, if he log on to client 2, he will get the same profile. If you log on to client 3, he will get the same profile. If you log on to client 4, he will get the same profile. Okay, so when the user logs off to their computer, the profile is copied back to the server. So let us say user 1 has logged on to client 1. He will get the profile from the server and he created some data. So when he log out from client 1, then all the data will be saved back to the server. If he doesn't log off, his data will not be saved to the server. And let us see the prerequisites for roaming profile. First, we need the user accounts. Okay, should be created in Active Directory, like user A, user B, user 10, anything. Then drive should be formatted with NTFS. So what we have done, what we are going to do, we are going to save the profile, roaming profile on the domain controller. So where will you save the profile? You will save the profile on a drive. This drive should be formatted with NTFS. Okay, if you see here, the drive should be formatted with NTFS. This is the second prerequisite. And we need to create a shared folder on the server. So what we will do, we will create one shared folder on the server. So we will create like we have created in this example a folder, and we have provided the name as roaming folder, and we have shared this folder. Okay, we will see how to share it, and we have already covered how to share the folder, and we will see it today as well. So then we will take the path. So a shared folder on the server, because roaming user profiles are created on the server, and the folder should be empty with read and write permission. So guys, you will just create the folder. Let us say shared folder, and you will share this folder with read write permission, and you are not going to save anything. It should be empty, and you will give the read write permission to everyone. So lab 1, create a shared folder on domain controller, and it should be empty. Then take the shared folder path. So you will create a roaming folder. After that, you will share it with everyone with read write permission, and you will take this path. Let us do this lab first, then we'll move forward. So we'll go to domain controller, control alt del. The password is 123. We'll close it. We'll go to this PC. Then we'll go to a drive which is formatted with NTFS. Let us verify whether this E drive is formatted with NTFS or not. It is formatted with PAT. So we'll not select this drive. We'll verify F. It is formatted with NTFS. So we'll select F. Under this F, we'll create one folder and we'll assign the name as shade folder or shade profile. And we'll share this folder, right click, properties, sharing, share, and we'll share it with everyone. And you know how to hide it. So we are not going to hide in this example. And we'll give read write permission and we'll share it. Done. And it should be empty. It doesn't have anything inside this shade folder. And we'll take the path, properties, and location sharing, and we'll take this path, server one shade folder. So after that, let us see what to do. Then we'll do this lab 2. We'll create a roaming user profile for user A. Okay, so which means this user A, okay, if he logs on to any computer, he should get the same profile. So we'll create a roaming profile for user A. So we'll see the steps. We'll go to this user, right click on this user, then we'll go to properties. Under this properties, okay, when you click this properties, you will get this window and you need to select this profile option and you will paste the path. After pasting the path, you will add this word here /user A. We are creating the profile for user A, so /user A, apply OK. Then we'll verify if the profile is local or user. So we'll log on to any client with user A, then we'll go to control panel, then we'll search profile, then you will click this option, configure advanced user profile properties, and you will see roaming and roaming. Then log in with user A and we'll create a folder and you can change the background or we will add a folder on desktop. Then we log on to workstation 2 with user A and you will get the same profile. So it is recommended to use the same operating system for user profile, which means you will use, if you are using Windows 10 machine, so all the machines should be Windows 10, then only you will get the roaming profile on the other computer. Otherwise, you may face some issues. And user should sign out to save the data on server. So you have created some data and without signing out from workstation 1 and you have logged on to workstation 2, you will not get the data there. You need to sign out, then only it will save your data to the server. Okay, so let us do this lab. Now we'll create the profile for user A. We'll create the roaming profile for user A. So we'll go to server manager. Then we'll go to tools, then Active Directory users and computers. Then we'll go to user A. We need to create the roaming profile for user A. Then we'll right click, properties. Then we'll go to this profile option and we'll paste the path here. Then /user A. We'll apply, then OK. Okay, so now we log on to workstation 1 with user A. Password is 123. So user A is already having one data folder on the desktop. So let us create one more folder, folder one. Okay. Then we'll go to the user A profile. Then we'll go to documents. We'll create notepad one or document one. Okay, so then we'll verify whether this profile is roaming or not. If it is not roaming, you can't get the same profile on other device. Profile, will go to control panel, then profile, then we'll select this option, configure advanced user profile properties. And if you see here, it is saying roaming and roaming, which means this profile is roaming and we can get the same data on other device. We will get the same profile on other device. Okay, so data folder, folder one, under this documents, we have new data, new text document. Okay. We'll log on to workstation 2 using user account. So we need to log out, guys. Then it will save the profile on this server. Let us log on with user A. Password is 123. If you see, we have logged on with user A on other computer and we are getting the same profile here. If you go to user A profile, then if you go to documents, you are getting the document as well. What we will do, we log on with user B and we'll create some folder or change the background on workstation 1 and we log on to workstation 2 with user B and we will get the same profile. Okay, so user B profile is shared on server. So what we will do, we need to create the profile for user B as well. So how to create the profile for user B? We'll go to user B, double click or properties, profile, and this is the path. Then you will type user B here, then you will click OK. That's it. The roaming profile is created for user B. Then we log on to workstation 1. With user B. The password is 123. Let us verify whether it is a local profile or roaming profile. Still it is showing local profile. So we need to sign out. Then we will sign in. Let us verify whether it is a roaming profile or local profile. We'll go to control panel. Then we'll type profile. We'll search for profile. And we'll select configure advanced user profile properties. And you can see it is showing roaming and roaming. We'll create some data on the desktop. Data on workstation 1. Okay. Then what we will do now, without signing out from workstation 1, we'll log on to workstation 2. We'll log on with user B. So you will not get the data on the desktop because we have not signed out from this workstation 1. So let us set up the icons. Personalization, themes, desktop icon settings. We'll check the icons. All the icons are available and we are not seeing this data on WS1 folder on workstation because we have not signed out. Let us sign out from both the computers. We'll sign out from workstation 1. Now it will save the data on server. Let us sign out from workstation 2. Let us log in with user B. Password is 123. Then you will get the same profile on user B. We are getting the data on SW1 here. So this roaming user profiles are created for selected users to save the space on server. So it is not for everyone, guys. If you create the roaming profile for all the users, it will consume the space of server and the server performance will be down. So you are going to create this roaming profile for like managers, team leaders, etc. And versions of Microsoft Windows user profile are as follows. So as we have discussed, we need the same Windows operating system for roaming profile because it is having different versions. So if you see this version 6, it is for Windows 10. Okay. So if you are logging to one virtual machine, one computer, let us say it is Windows 8 and its version is 3, and you have created some data and you have logged on to Windows 10 machine, the version is 6. So version is incompatible here. So you may face some issues. Okay. So to get the same version, you need to use the same operating system. So here we have some versions. Version 1 operating system earlier than Windows Vista and Windows Server 2008. So this version 1 is supported by the operating system which are earlier than Vista and Windows Server 2008. Version 2 supported by Vista, Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2008 R2. Then version 3 is supported by Windows 8, Windows Server 2012. Version 4 is supported by Windows 8.1, Windows Server 2012 R2, and version 5 is supported by Windows 10 RTMS released to manufacturers, and version 6 is supported by Windows 10, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. And we have some drawbacks of roaming user profiles, like it can slow down the network, it will consume the server hard disk space, and it is not for all the users. So these are the limitations or drawbacks of roaming profile.